Hello lovers, welcome back to another For the Marriage video. I am Lacole Hanson, and if this is your first time to this channel here, one, welcome. Two, make sure you find the subscribe button below and click it. Our mission at For the Marriage is to provide positive content, services, and products that help marriages reconnect, thrive, and build fulfilling marriages worth having. So if you are looking for a positive community filled with those traits, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Three, thank you so much for joining me in this video. For my old lovers, it's always a pleasure to have you come back. You know, I got a good topic for us today, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I think that it's very important for us to go ahead and peel the Band-Aid off of this wound. I cannot believe that we are only a month and a few days away from entering 2025. I don't even know where 2024 went. I know that it was a good year, and I also understand that I want 2025 to be a little bit better than it was in 2024. And some of the areas that I always focus on is self-care. Obviously, I am in the process of growing my business, so that is one of the things that I will be setting goals up for now to be able to go into 2025 better and ready to accomplish and grow my business. But one of the things that I always put as a priority is my marriage. I know that marriage is one of those things that it has its ups and downs, and it's the same for me and my marriage. However, I want to make sure that entering 2025, we are geared up to have a good year in marriage. 2024 was a good year for us, but we can always do better. And I encourage you all to also look at your marriage, whether you had an awesome year in 2024 or it wasn't so great. Look at your marriage and see the things that you want to improve or that you want to carry into 2025 to continue that positive marriage train that you all are on. Now, if you are not on a positive train right now in your marriage, this is a perfect time for you all to reflect and see how you all could get on the positive train in marriage, with the understanding that we all know that marriage ebbs and flows. There are high highs and sometimes there are those low lows, and sometimes honestly marriage is just average and it is just coasting by. So wherever you are, I think that now is the time for us to actually look at our marriage and see where we stand, right? So if we had that ugly, nasty marriage in 2024, peel that Band-Aid off now. Let's sit down and talk with our spouses to see how we can make it better. And if our marriage was a good marriage, we continue to grow with our spouse, we had good times, let's sit down with our spouses and see how we can keep that going into 2025. Now, I always encourage people to understand that January 1st is really not the time to be sitting down and saying, this is what we want. We need to be proactive so that when January 1st comes, we're already implementing some of the things that we've already talked about, right? So even if you're saying January 1st, I want it to be our first date night. We did not date in the month or in 2024 as much as we wanted to, or we did date and we wanted to continue to do that. Why not start the year off dating instead of actually starting the year off planning to date, if that makes sense? So it is very important for us to be proactive in our marriage, and this is the time. I know that we're getting into the holidays, and I definitely encourage this being one of those moments where we do, sit down with our spouse and start to conversate, because with the holidays, we know that they are busy, tensions are high, and this can also just be checkup on see how we are doing with our spouses. So I definitely encourage this moment right here to be the time that we are planning to have a successful or a better marriage than what we had in 2024. So one of the ways that you all can do this, and you may have heard this in a different term, is a marriage meeting. Something that we just recently, my husband and I recently started back up, is doing our marriage meetings, and we do them twice a week. We do them on Sundays and Thursdays because those are the days that we are available to actually just sit down and really have some good meetings. And one of the things that we implement into our marriage meetings is the adult coloring book, which I definitely feel like it's something that sets the tone to be a little bit different. So we wanted to implement something that was very like something that we can learn and do together. So we have our adult coloring books and we just sit down, we have our topics and we talk about whatever may be on the list of things that we want to talk about. Or it's just really a simple, how are you doing? How are we doing? Where do you think that we need to improve? What are we doing well? And it's been something that we've been doing for the last couple of months, and I definitely encourage you all to have those marriage meetings. And you don't have to call them marriage meetings, that's just something that we call them, but I definitely think it's important because it allows you and your spouse to frequently be on the same page, understanding what's going on in each other's lives. So if your life is in that like routine state where you come home, you cook dinner, you put the kids down, you all have maybe a few minutes or hour together, and then you're going to bed and you do it all over again. I think that the marriage meetings allows you to really reconnect with your spouse, see what's going on in their life, understanding what's going on in your life and things like that. So I definitely encourage marriage meetings. It's something that we all should be doing, and we don't have to call them marriage meetings. You can call it marriage meetups, or that's pretty much the same thing, or like spouse chats, or whatever fun little thing that you all come up with, you and your spouse. Definitely encourage you all to do it. Some people may need it once a month. Some people may need it multiple times a week, maybe a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday type of thing. Maybe some people want it at the beginning of the week and then at the end of the week, something like that, right? Maybe one time a week, just so you all can kind of meet somewhere, be on the same page, and then divide and conquer, or whatever the case may be. So if you're not doing marriage meetings and you feel like you and your spouse are, just going, and you haven't had that opportunity to really center yourselves and focus on each other, maybe you can implement a marriage meeting. Also, too, another thing that we can start to implement, which I am very, very big on, is dating our spouse. Now, if in 2024 you and your spouse was not able to get out at least once a month, it's something that you all want to consider, even if it's just going out and walking around your neighborhood, or walking around a park, or doing something else, something where it could be just you two. And then also too, if you have children and you're not in that mindset of like, oh, I want somebody to come in and watch our children, make sure you're dating each other out, like when the children go to sleep and stuff like that, having those date nights at the end of the night or something like that, or maybe early in the morning. Definitely encourage you all to date each other. And if I could give any advice, I would definitely say, when you are on your dates, please try to refrain from talking about those harsh conversations. Those conversations should definitely be shared in the marriage meeting that you all have, or at a different time. The date nights or date days should be fun, a time for you all to reconnect, fall in love with each other. And I definitely encourage you all, if you're having a hard time finding out different things to do each date night, I encourage you all to go ahead and head over to either my Etsy shop at forthemarriage.etsy.com, or my website, forthemarriage.com, and pick up one of the date bags. It's something that I've started to encourage marriages or spouses to date each other. And each bag is going to be different. Sometimes it's going to be super fun. Sometimes it's going to be just reconnecting, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely encourage, if you're having a hard time to actually find time to do different things and date nights, to go ahead and pick up a date night bag. Now, November's is still available for purchase throughout this week, and it's a really good one. I'm telling you all, it's a really good one. I've had some good feedback on November's. People are like, what in the world? How did you come up with this idea? And I'm like, you know what? It's just something that I'm interested in doing myself. And my husband and I are actually going to do this one this coming weekend. So definitely encourage you all, if you are having a hard time with finding things to do in your date night, to go ahead and pick up yourself a date night mystery love bag. Now, another thing that I want to bring to you all's attention is planning spontaneous moments in your marriage, right? I highly encourage, if you can, get out on a vacation, to do so. We have done yearly vacations. Now our vacations are family vacations, but it's a time for us to really grow as a family. And if you have children, this may be a perfect thing for you all to do as well. And if you don't have children, I highly encourage you all to try to break away and do either a weekend vacation or a week-long vacation, or however long you all can afford. I think it's very important to create memories outside of the house. And if I can encourage you all to do that, I definitely think that these are the things that should be implemented and planned into your marriage, just to kind of keep it spontaneous, keep things alive, keep those memories alive. I know for a lot of couples that I sit with and I work with, I see that some of their memories are only in the beginning portions of their marriage. And I think it's important for us to understand that those memories will forever be there, but it's important for us to always create memories throughout our marriage and our lives together. So I would definitely encourage you all to do these things. One, implement marriage meetings. If you all are feeling like you're missing each other, you're not having those moments to really reconnect and build. Also, two, make sure you are planning date nights, and date nights should not be the time when we're talking about those hard conversations. Date nights should be the moments where we are falling in love with our spouse again, or just really reconnecting on a fun level. And then number three is doing those spontaneous vacations, going different places, traveling to different states, understanding that, life is definitely out there to be journeyed, and we should definitely try to embark on a journey with our spouse. So I hope that you all enjoy this video. Again, if you are in need of a date night, we have the mystery love bag that is released each month. Good date night ready to go for you and your spouse. And it's something different. It's not just a dinner and a movie, right? And then also too, if you and your spouse are finding that you're having hard times reaching or accomplishing or even setting goals, or you're just in a rough spot and you need a second pair or third pair of eyes in your marriage, I'm definitely here to assist you all, as I am a certified relationship coach. Lastly, if you are one of those people who are just head over heels with being married and you are looking for some love items to continue to encourage you in your marriage, I would definitely encourage you all to check out my Etsy shop at forthemarriage.etsy.com. I just released some items over there, and I would love for you all to actually grab them and bring them into your home and into your life, as we at For the Marriage is over here just trying to provide, like I said, positive content, services, and products that help marriages and encourage people to continue to be married. Until next time, lovers, thank you so much for joining me in this video. BYE. Bye-bye.